Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Clinton Campbell, back with Market Moves. Today we're going to talk about the basics of real estate. Real estate itself has a very unique language, and we're going to talk about terms, principle, and how you can smash this market today.
No limit. I see murder that. No limit, baby. Get it.
I know real estate could have a lot of daunting vocabulary to it, but today hopefully we can get over the terms and vocabulary so you can have a basic knowledge on how real estate really works. We have a couple of key words right here, and we're going to map everything out together. So we're going to start with home, really simple. When you're looking up marketing or ads or anything online, you're going to look up single family home. SFH. And now if this home has 2 doors, now it is a duplex. And say if you have 1 door and we'll say multiple different rooms, then you have a townhouse. This would be a townhouse. For me, I try to specialize in single family home. So for an example, again, we have our home. And now we're going to talk about mortgage and equity. Mortgage is a note from the bank saying, okay, yeah, we'll give you enough money to seal the deal and get your mortgage to have your house. So let's say you buy a house for $150,000. US dollars. Most people don't have this money. You would go to a bank and they would give you a mortgage. And typically mortgages, you can get 3%, 5%, or 10%. And what I mean by the percentages is the percentage down, and that's a down payment. For this example, I'm going to use 10%. 15,000, and that's going to leave a mortgage of 135,000. So the house was 150,000. I put $15,000 down, which is 10%. So it left a mortgage for $135,000. What comes with this mortgage is interest. And what interest is a bank saying, hey, we're not going to give you this loan for free. So because we loaned you this house, we'll loan you the money for the house, then we are going to ask for a little bit money back. So for this example, I'm going to use 6%. What this is going to do is generate a monthly mortgage. And for an example, I'm going to use $800. That's just throwing a number out there. So with your home with a nice little door and some windows, we'll throw a chimney up there, maybe some nice little landscaping, I don't know, but you decide that you would like to rent it or lease it. So what you're going to do from here, you're going to ask for $1,000. Say you have a single family that comes in and they're willing to give you $1,000 for your home. So what this does is create $200 of cash flow. Cash flow is good. So $800 was your mortgage. $1,000 is what you're getting every month. So you're generating $200 worth of cash flow. The property you bought, I'm going to throw you a curveball. Let's just say that this house actually total worth is $200,000. So you bought your house at $150,000, you put $15,000 down, and your mortgage is $135,000. But the market says your house is $200,000. So there's this thing called equity. Well, what is equity? Well, equity is the amount of money that you have from your mortgage to the total amount that your house can go for, which in this example is $65,000. $65,000. You guys picking this up because this is some useful knowledge. So once you realize you have $65,000 in equity, you're probably thinking, wait, Clinton, $15,000. What about my $15,000 down? Well, see, that's a part of the equity because, again, the market was $200,000 is what your house is going for. You bought it for $150,000. You put $15K down. That's where you were able to get the difference here, which is $65,000. So again, when you're looking at real estate, you're looking for equity and cash flow. Well, I guess it would be equity and cash flow. That's what you're looking at when you're looking for real estate investment. So I just wanted to share those basics because equity and cash flow is a very, very good thing. So before we get to this stuff down here, we're going to do a quick summary on what we've done today. We bought a house for $150,000. We were able to put 10% down and get, or 10% down and spend $15,000 on our investment. Then we were able to get a mortgage for $135,000. The bank wanted 6%. So with that generated a mortgage. This is a monthly mortgage. From there, we decided we're not going to live in this home. We're going to rent it out. So for an example, our single family home, we rented it for $1,000. We then discovered we would have $200 worth of cash flow. Down the road, our house now goes for $200,000. Our mortgage was $135,000. So that left $65,000 in equity. Okay, so a couple more things so you can tell the whole story. This $800 mortgage is a part of the PITI. Whoa, what is that? The PITI stands for Principal, Interest, Tax, Insurance. And what the principal does is it helps, that's what pays the actual house off. And if it's $800 mortgage, you're probably going to have roughly $720 into the principal. Interest is what we talked about earlier, and this is the 6% right here. The bank gave you the loan or the mortgage for $135,000. You have to pay them back, as in the bank, a little bit of money for giving you that loan. That's what interest is. Tax, well, you have to pay your taxes, and if you don't pay your taxes, then this could possibly get a lien, and then you won't be able to have your house. But how they do the taxes is they'll break it down into twelfths. So 1/12 every month you'll pay 1/12, which obviously in a year you'll pay your yearly worth of taxes. And this is also a part of your mortgage. And your insurance is, well, for an example, say Johnny is in here and he decided that he's going to start a fire, and well, that's where your insurance comes in. PITI stands for Principal and Interest. Principal and interest. T stands for tax, so you have to pay your taxes. And insurance is, well, if little Johnny decides he's going to start a fire in the house. Now, we just took this video and trained you in all the language and all the vocabulary and the basic terms on how to get your first rental property, or if you've already gotten one, on what to look at now. Now, for our last thing is buy low and sell high. And what this means is, you know, we bought this market at $150,000. We could sell it at $200,000. That is an example of buying low and selling high. And this is a huge thing that investors are doing, is being able to find this gap right here. What you can do to find this gap is motivated sellers. Maybe there's a divorce in the family. Unfortunately, there could be a death or something along those lines, or maybe they just couldn't pay for their house and they need to sell it, and they need to sell it fast. These are opportunities right here when you can go and seal the deal on a great investment property. So thank you.